What's up, North County? Hey, we are here at the Charles Paddock Zoo, and we are going to get a special behind-the-scenes look at what goes on here. Come on. What's up, North County? We are here with Flavia, and we are sitting here at the Charles Paddock Zoo in Atascadero. This is a local gym that it needs a little bit more recognition. So Flavia, tell me what exactly you do here at the zoo.
Well, I am the zoo supervisor, so I kind of oversee the animal care and just the day-to-day operations of the zoo, and I'm also the veterinary technician, so I oversee the animals' health and make sure that everyone is healthy and happy living here at the zoo. Very
awesome. So you're going to give us a little bit of a behind-the-scenes view of the zoo here. And we've got a lot of really cool animals here. You guys are out of 4,000 zoos across the United States. You guys are one of 230 accredited zoos. And what does that mean exactly?
That's right. So being accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the AZA, is a really big deal. You have to meet some very, very high standards for animal care, animal health, any operations, how the zoo looks, how the staff presents themselves to the public, how we interact, our educational programs. So those standards are very high, and every zoo that is accredited by AZA meets the same standards. So our little Charles Paddock Zoo here in Atascadero meets the exact same standards as the San Diego Zoo, as the Bronx Zoo, as all of these big zoos out there that everyone knows. We're on the same level as those zoos.
Very awesome. So where are you taking us now? Where are we going down this path of the jungle?
Well, this is a little bit of an indication, all this little bamboo over here, right? So we are gonna go towards Asia, where we have our red pandas, which are the animals that we have here at the zoo that eat bamboo. So we're gonna head over there and we're gonna meet them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on down here and meet them.
So we have two red pandas right now. So the way that it works is these animals are, being part of the AZA means that there are lots of folks out there that manage populations of different animals. And so there is a red panda population management group. And so they'll tell us which red pandas are okay to breed with who, based on their genetics, based on their history. And so we have two right now, a male and a female, but they're not recommended to breed. And so we're keeping them separate and we rotate them in and out of the exhibit. So when you come here to the zoo, you most likely only see one on exhibit right now. But pretty soon here, this population management group has recommended us to take on more animals. And so we'll be adding more animals. So this is just a very brief description of how we function as far as why animals come and go and why we have just one, why we have more, and all of that fun stuff. So this over here is Oolong. He's our male, and we're gonna go there and meet him.
Like physically?
We are gonna go in there. We'll see if he actually wants to meet you. All right, so we're gonna come in here. So we are entering through their den. This is their off exhibit area that no one sees except for the staff. So this is, as I was talking about, we had two pandas, right? We saw the one that's over there on exhibit, the male. This is our little girl, Tabay. She also has access to another outdoor area, so she's not inside all day. And we have the opportunity to rotate them around. The nice thing about this den is red pandas really don't like the heat. And so here in Atascadero, those days that gets like 96, 100, 104, these guys just don't do well. And so this building has air conditioning and we can keep it climate controlled. So we can keep it at a good 80 for them. And then they can always come in here and they can cool down. So if they're not doing well and it's too hot outside, they can come in here and just cool down.
Are these animals, are they tame? What's their manner like?
So all the animals that we have here at the zoo, they are wild animals. We like to keep them as wild as possible. So, you know, when we go in to take care of an animal, we don't handle them. We don't cuddle them. Like, you know, some people from the public, they always ask us, like, do you get to cuddle the animals? No, pretty much
Just
never.
keep them in their natural
We want them to show their natural behaviors, that we want them to behave as close as possible as to what living in the wild is like. Of course, these guys were all born in captivity, so zoos nowadays, we don't take animals from the wild unless it's a rehabbing situation where there's an injured wildlife that cannot be returned to the wild or something like that. So, you know, these animals are all captive bred and they don't know anything besides this life. But we try to keep those characteristics, those natural behaviors as close to what it would be in the wild.
So I noticed she's eating some leaves right now, so obviously that's her food source that you guys put in.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so that's another difference between the red pandas and the black and white pandas. The black and white pandas, they eat the whole stalk of bamboo. The red pandas, they only eat the leaves. So when we come here, this is her breakfast. When we come here at night to give her her dinner, there's pretty much no leaves left on that, just the bare stalk. Anyway, let's go over to the habitat that we saw earlier on so that we can get to meet Oolong, our boy. Right. So this is how the zookeepers and the staff can enter the red panda habitat. So come on in.
We're going in with them?
We're coming in with them, yep. Whenever we are in an animal space, we don't want to move too fast. We want to make sure that they have room to get away from us if they want to. They have never seen you here before, so they don't know who you are. So they're a little bit on a high alarm, like, hey,
coming into your house here.
Something's different, right? Just like a stranger coming into your house. So we're gonna just kind of stay together and move along together. You can just follow me. One thing that we don't want to do is split. Like, let's say you go over there and I'm over here, because then they're like, wait a second, we have nowhere to go.
Understood.
So we'll just kind of stay together. I brought some grapes. Sometimes the red pandas like to get grapes as a treat. It's not part of their diet, but grapes are a favorite for the animals here at the zoo because they, it's sweet. So it's like cute. I feed my kids grapes. The red pandas like grapes too. So we'll see if he'll come over. Maybe once he gets used to us a little bit more. Hi, baby.
Wow.
I don't know as far as the. So we were talking. You were asking about the relationship between the different species, and for the most part, they really don't interact that much. They, you know, they just kind of stay on the separate live sides? Together. Yeah, the red pandas like to be a little bit up on the tree. Of course, he loves to be down the ground, and the muntjac stays on the ground. They have different areas that they sleep in at night, so they can have their own space. They have plenty of room that they can get away from each other, so if they're not getting along for some reason. But it's quite funny because we sometimes, when it's warmer, we have a tortoise that lives here. And one time we found the panda was scent marking the tortoise. So the tortoise looks like a rock, right? So he's marking the territory. Yeah, so they all get along. We monitor everyone closely all the time to make sure. And if someone is not getting along, we have ways of kind of working around it and making sure that they are living together peacefully. But like I said, these animals do encounter each other in the wild, and so, Oolong, come here. You want a grape? He's like, come here, sweetheart. Look. He's like, no.
Do they become acclimated to like you guys being in here all the time, like a pet would?
They know our routine. They know that we come in the morning. They know we clean. They know we bring them their food, and so they get to know us. I don't know if they necessarily like us, but they do know the fact that we bring them food and we take care of them. So I guess that they tolerate us for that reason. You know, we're the source of their food every day. So come here. It's like, nope.
So whereas a pet, you kind of you know, over a course of time, they become comfortable with you. They get a little bit more, you know, friendlier, closer. So you're saying that he does not?
Not necessarily with these guys. I mean, we don't spend enough time. We have, you know, 300 animals at the zoo that we're taking care of every day. There are 6 of us that are taking care of all of those animals. And so, you know, a pet, you're all day, 24/7 sometimes, or, you know, you go out to work and you come back and you're there at night, you're there in the morning, you're there a lot more to establish that relationship with the animal. And here, really, like I said, we want them to stay as wild as possible. And so we minimize those interactions. We're really only in here to clean, make sure everything is clean, make sure they have fresh water, fresh food, that they're healthy, that they're behaving normally. Now, if there is an issue, if there's a medical problem, or if we need to do a physical exam, that's the time that we need to handle them and be closer. But most of the time, they're healthy and they don't really need anything, and so we don't need to be in their space more than just to clean and feed.
Wow. Well, this is very awesome, very educational, and such a pretty little...
I know, they're
Gosh,
adorable.
So beautiful. All right, well then I'm going to follow you wherever
All
you
right,
want to take
so
us.
we are going to go meet another animal right now.
Awesome. All right, Flavia, so what are we looking at right now?
Now we're looking at one of my personal favorite animals. Is a giant anteater. These guys are from South America. They do occur in Brazil, kind of the central area of Brazil. And they are just so unique animals. They have such cool adaptations, and is one of the main animals here at the zoo. Big mammal, and now you can tell I didn't take you in there with him. And the reason for that, these guys have very, very sharp claws. And so they could hurt someone if they wanted to. And so even for us, the staff, we never go in there with him. So he knows to go inside in the building. He has a little bedroom in there, and we can lock him in there. We can come outside, we can clean, we can put his food out. And then when we're done, we let him out. We close the doors to his bedroom so we can clean it, and then he can have access to everything once again. But if you want to have a kind of like a visual of what he would do to you if you were in there, if you look at that tree over there by that rock and all the scratch marks, those are all done by him with his big claws. So that's what your legs would look like if you went in there. So. And that's why I didn't take you in there.
so an anteater, I mean, is there truth? I mean, they stick their head into an ant pile?
So these guys, one of the cool things that they have is their mouth really doesn't open more than this. So, and they don't have any teeth. All they have is a really big, sticky tongue. So their tongues can be as long as 2 feet long, and they're super sticky. Wow. So they go, they're called anteaters, but they really like termites. And so they can go into these big termite mounds, and they can stick their big tongues in there, and all the termites get stuck to it. They suck it all in, slurp it in like they had a straw, and that's how that's what they eat, and they can use their big claws to kind of disturb that termite mound a little bit too, to get the insects moving around, so then they can stick their tongue and then they can eat them. And they eat thousands and thousands of termites or ants every day. So that's what they do. Yeah.
And how long has he been here at the zoo?
So this is Guapo. Guapo came to us from the Sacramento Zoo, and he has been here with us for about 3 or 4 years now. He's a younger animal. We used to have an elderly animal that was here, an elderly giant anteater, and then this guy's a lot younger, which is really fun to watch the difference in behavior. He's very playful. Sometimes he will run around, he plays with his balls, he goes in the water, and he claws his trees, and all of these behaviors that we didn't see in the elderly animal that we used to have. We can see that now with him.
Well, let's walk down here and check him out, because he's right here doing all kinds of fun stuff. It looked like he was down here in the pool.
He has this horrible habit, and please don't put this on video.
That's why he was in the pool.
Yeah, he uses the potty.
Wow,
it's really pleasant. Every time we clean, first thing he does is he goes in there and he poops. Huh, sir?
Oh, he got zapped. He got a little zipsy.
Yep.
So he looks like he's got a little bit of a porcupine-ish, and
they have very coarse hair. One of the super cool things about them, that big tail of them, right? They use their tail in the wild. They walk around in bushes, and so they put their tail up like a flag and they wave so other anteaters know where they are, because they can see that big tail sticking up, kind of like a flag up high.
Wow. Well, Flavia, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. You know, and like I said, this is one of those gems that we have right here in the North County, in Atascadero, that a lot of people in our area probably don't get exposed to. But we want to do our part to bring that awareness, you know, of these animals, you know, of this facility, because it's really beautiful. I mean, like I said, I hadn't been here in quite a few years, and I could just, the difference it was 20 years ago to now. And being a part of that accredited zoos across the United States, 230, I mean, that's not a whole lot.
It's a big deal. Yeah. And so, please come back. We have a lot to show, a lot to talk about, a lot of animals, and a lot of stories to tell. So please come back, and we would love to have you back.
Well, we really hope so, and we really can't wait to see all the back scenes of all these animals, because this was really good. We got to see the red panda. We got to see the, what's the deer's name again?
Munchjack.
Munchjack. And we got to see the anteater.
The anteater, that's right. Yeah.
So thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
Really
thank you for coming.
Well, there you have it, guys. Make sure you guys get out here to the Charles Paddock Zoo, because you will not be disappointed whatsoever. Bring the kids. This Saturday we have a really special event, which they're going to give gifts to all these animals. Between, I believe it's 10 and 1, that they're going to be giving away these gifts, and be a part of this celebration and get your family down here to the Charles Paddock Zoo here in Atascadero. Guys, thanks again. We'll see you next time.